Welcome back to What's the Fact, friends. I hope you are doing well. Let's do extra effort to wash these pesticide-prone fruits and vegetables. Whether you are getting the freshest fruit and veggies delivered, shopping at the supermarket's organic section, or handpicking peaches by the pound at the local farm, it all needs washing before you eat or cook with it. Between bacterial dangers like E. coli, Salmonella and Listeria, cross-contamination, other people's hands and the various chemicals left on veggies in the form of pesticides or protectants, no vegetable should avoid a trip to the sink before it enters your mouth. And yes, that includes organic, because organic does not mean pesticide-free. It just means no toxic pesticides, a common misconception most grocery shoppers have. Before you get too worked up about pesticides in your produce, consider that the U.S. Department of Agriculture Pesticide Data Program, PDF, found over 99% of foods sampled measured residue levels that met the safety standards established by the Environmental Protection Agency, with 27% having no detectable pesticide residues at all. Some residue is okay, and not all chemicals found on food are harmful. You don't need to freak out over forgetting to wash a handful of fruits and veggies. For instance, a food-grade wax is sprayed on apples to replace the natural wax washed away during the post-harvest cleaning process. Trace amounts of pesticides typically won't impact your health significantly, but if you are worried about downing pesticides or other chemicals your food may have been exposed to, you might take a better safe than sorry approach and wash your produce before eating. Foods most likely to contain pesticides, according to FDA and USDA data. Strawberries. The popular berries had more total instances of chemicals found on them than any other fruit or vegetable included in the sweeping analysis. More than 95% of samples of strawberries, apples, cherries, spinach, nectarines and grapes tested positive for residues of 2 or more pesticides. Over 50 different pesticides were detected on every type of crop on the list, except cherries. Kale, collard and mustard greens, as well as hot peppers and bell peppers, had the most pesticides detected of any crop, 103 and 101 pesticides in total, respectively. The fruits and vegetables to always wash. Strawberries, spinach, kale, collard and mustard greens, grapes, peaches, pears, nectarines, apples, bell and hot peppers, cherries, blueberries, green beans. Fruits and vegetables you can skip washing. These are the fruits and vegetables least likely to contain pesticides, according to the study. Avocados, sweet corn, pineapple, onions, papaya, sweet peas, frozen, asparagus, honeydew melon, kiwi, cabbage, watermelon, mushrooms, mangoes, sweet potatoes, carrots. The clean 15 were found to have the lowest levels of pesticide contamination across all of the tested samples, but that doesn't mean that they aren't contaminated by pesticides at all. It certainly doesn't mean that the fruits and veggies you are bringing home aren't contaminated with bacteria, either. You'd be statistically safer consuming unwashed food from the clean 15 than the dirty dozen, but it's still a good rule of thumb to rinse all of your fruits and vegetables before eating them. What pesticides were identified by the EWG? The EWG identified a number of pesticides during the analysis of tested samples, and the organization found that 4 of the 5 most common pesticides were potentially dangerous fungicides: fludeoxonil, pyraclostrobin, boscalid and pyrimethamine. The analysis focuses on which fruits and vegetables are most likely to contain one or more pesticides but does not measure how much of any one pesticide is on a given piece of produce. Thank you, eat healthy, live happily and see you again.